Namaste. This is Shaini Muralidharan, a research student in Mumbai University doing research in Advaita Vedanta, and my topic is the need of oneness attitude in modern society with the philosophical aspect of Sri Narayana Gurudevan and Swami Vivekananda. Before starting, let me wish you all a happy new year. Let all your dreams be materialized. Now coming to our discussion topic, we were discussing about the life sketch of Sri Narayana Gurudevan and Swami Vivekananda, and also we done a analysis on the philosophical research. What all the points to be taken care of? These were the discussion topic which we mentioned in the last video. So the first point, when I was talking about the research, I said it is historical approach. And why I am doing the historical approach, it's because in order to understand what made them to utter these words like one caste, one religion, one God for man, and universal religion. So that needs an historical background to understand the mindset, the conditions, and the situations which they faced will be helpful to understand the historical background. So today I am going to deal with the history of Kerala until 16th century, and with the aspect of origin. We know there is no evidences of Kerala origin. I mentioned in last video, it's just pointed in Brahmanda Purana, and many rulers has been mentioned in their writings about Kerala, and Tamil literature also mentions that. So in that way the Kerala has been mentioned. And the other thing is the 6th century, until 6th century there is no historical records available. After 6th century, the inscriptions, literature, and all such provides the information regarding the historical background of that period. So 7th century is mentioned as the period of Shankaracharya ji, and his life sketch and the activity which he done is available. When we analyze the history of Kerala, we come to know that a lot of changes happened from the 6th century to the 12th century in Kerala. Like a lot of rulers has been ruled here, and among them in South India, the major rulers were Chola, Chera, Pandya, and Pallavas. And Chola, Chera, and Pandyas has been ruled Kerala. Pallavas were not that much involved with this land, but these three kings were there and they ruled this land. And also there are certain points like travelers used to come here. They mentioned about this land. Travelers like Marco Polo, Megasthenes, and Huan Stang, all these people had came to India, and they mentions about this land. Especially Huan Stang, Chinese traveler mentions this land as a forest, and Aborigines were the inhabitants of this place. And also the other point was St. Thomas, who came before 6th century. He preached Christianity over here, and he converted a lot of people to Christianity. This incident is also mentioned. So little bit of information regarding these periods is being collected. So after that, many of the countries, that means the foreign countries, were trying to come to India, and they had to find out the sea route. Among one was the Portuguese. So Portuguese were very eager to come here, and they knew that the Kerala was doing trade business between the Arab countries. And they found out that historically it says that Vasco da Gama had came first here, but when I was reading the history of Kerala, it says that before Vasco da Gama, a person from Portuguese came here and he studied about the trade business in Kerala, what all things the Kerala is trading, and how they are doing the trade through sea route. These all things he studied from here, and while he was going back to his country, he died. So that's why Vasco da Gama historically became the first person who came to Calicut in Kerala, that is Kappad, in 1498. And he came over here, he maintained a nice relationship between the kings. And even it says that while he was coming, vast reception has been given to him, and also they made a treaty of business, the spices, the pepper, and all such things they mentioned in their trade business. After that, Vasco da Gama went back to Portuguese, and but while he was leaving, he took a person from Kerala to his country and converted him to Christianity and made him as an official person to have that writings. Kerala rulers doesn't have the Portuguese language, and Portuguese doesn't have Kerala language. So in order to keep these two people intact, this person is needed. So they appointed him as an official person. After that, the attitude of Portuguese has been changed. They demands that we will decide the market price and marketplace and all such things, and they want a place for creating the fort, and a lot of dispute has been happened between the Samorians and the Portuguese. Before going to that, let me tell you the Chairman Perumal, who was the last Perumal king in Kerala. He divided this Kerala, which the landscape is from Gokarna to Cape Comorin. Gokarna is now there in Karnataka, and Cape Comorin is another name for Kanyakumari, which is under the Tamil Nadu right now. So he divided his kingdom into four, and historically the famous kingdoms, it became three. That was the Samorian of Calicut, then Raja of Cochin, and the Raja of Travancore. Now, Samorians were very powerful. They used to rule other kingdoms, and the kings from the other kingdoms has to come there and inform about the changes that made in their ruling. Any new rules is there, they have to inform Samorians. So everything was under Samorians or the Samudri kings. And Samudris were on the caste base. We analyzed or studied, we will come to know that they were not Kshatriyas, and Raja of Cochin was Kshatriya. So he had a jealous over Samorians, and he wanted his power in his hand, not under the control of Samorians. So after the first coming of Portuguese, they left back. They couldn't establish over here. But with the help of Raja of Cochin, understanding that Raja of Cochin dislikes Samorian of Calicut, they used the chance and informed Raja of Cochin that we will make you powerful more than the Samorian of Calicut. So he made all the facilities for Portuguese, and that way the Portuguese entered again to Kerala. And from that moment the situation changed. They made a fort, they made church, they ruled over the marketplace, and they converted people. So this creates disputes between Samorians and Raja of Cochin and the people of Syrian Catholic, which the St. Thomas he had established the Syrian Catholic Christianity and the Portuguese Christians. So that dispute was there, and slowly what happens, this condition of Portuguese being as a ruler got declined. And also they had gone other places like Gujarat, Goa and all, and found that the Goa is the best place for them to settle down. So that led the Samorians to come back to their position in a powerful method, and the Portuguese power has been taken away. Now, Portuguese tried a lot to be in Kerala and have a trade with Kerala, but it doesn't happen. And this chance has been utilized by the other country, that is Dutch. So from 1498 to 1599, Portuguese had ruled Kerala, but slowly their power has been taken away by the Dutch people, and they utilized, and they made initially they made a good relationship between the all rulers of Kerala, and they came to Ceylon, and this historical aspect will be analyzed in the next video. But we need to understand Portuguese used to scared with one person, that is Kunyali Marekar. Kunyali Marekar was a person who used to fight against um, Portuguese, and the Portuguese were scared of being, because Kunyali Marikar were the people who, or the clan who used to make ships, and these ships were used to stop people coming to sea route to exploit this land. So I will explain the life history of Kunyali Marikar very nicely, because he is the one of the historic person we need to understand, and understand it well. So he is one of the person, and I just mentioned that he has been caught by Portuguese and killed, and that was a betray that happened to Kunyali Marikar. So that was a period of Portuguese until 16th century. After that, the Dutch people came over here and they ruled for a little period of time. Then the British colonial rule has been started. So analyzing the caste basis, Brahmanism started, we say it says in 2nd century, and they came from the upper part of India, like from North India, and they spread throughout the South India. And in Kerala, it's believed that on 4th century they came here, and they became powerful on the time of 7th or 8th century, there where the Brahmanism has been well established. Now, another way also, if we analyze the lunatic aspect of following caste system was not mentioned in the 15th or 16th or until 17th century. After that, all the rules had been manipulated, and that lunatic way of practice has been seen by Swami Vivekananda, and that made him to utter that Kerala is an asylum. So that also we will be taken to analyze, but this was a condition until 16th century. Though the Kerala was good in trade, though they were good in ruling, our rulers were mighty powers, but still people from outside, they could manipulate them, they could take the power of these kings because of some small misunderstandings. Okay, Thank you. So